as a result of this bond issue. But everyone has to pay that, not just the folks on that list. Okay?
So then it is an added cost to the tax base.
Right, but my point is that it's equally distributed as if any other tax would be. I could call it $50,000 snow plowing, $50,000 police protection, it doesn't matter. It gets spread across the entire city. But in this case, in order to meet the letter of the law, I have to identify specific parcels on paper, but in practice, everyone gets impacted equally.
Okay. So a grocery store is the same as a household?
Oh, well, no, when I should rephrase that. When I say equally, it gets spread across taxes as if it was normal taxes. Now, in your example, commercial property pays more than residential property. So, a $150,000 business is gonna pay 1.5 times more than a $150,000 house. And that's just because of the way property taxes work in Minnesota.
So then it is not a $4 right straight across the board?
No, $4 a month roughly for a typical household,
Okay.
which is about what, $110,000, $120,000 value.
Anything else?
We won't have to pay for another credit rating study then? We get to go into the states.
No, there is going to be a fee, however, I believe it's going to, the $500 fee is to the state. There still is a rating fee to Standard & Poor's, but I believe it will be less than what I showed you in the original cash flow. So it will be cheaper than what I showed you.
And irregardless, the break by using the state's rate is gonna compensate way beyond the cost of all these.
Right, I don't hold me to this, I wanna say it's a $3,800 fee versus the $8,000 I showed you. But regardless if it's $3,800 or $8,000, the AA plus rating is going to more than outweigh the lower interest rate you get on the borrowing. It's worth the fee. You do better for the fee than you would without.
So have you got any anticipation, is it 3.5 or is it gonna be 4.5?
I can't remember what I projected, that's a product of the term.
I think it was 4.1.
Okay, that sounds high to me in today's market.
Okay.
If that's what I showed you as a net effective rate about a month or so ago.
I think it was 4.9.
Well, and keep
4.3.
4.3. Two things to remember about that. One is I was showing you an A-rated interest rate scale. Okay, we're going to do better next. We're now going to have the state's guarantee. Number two, rates are slightly lower right now than they were when I prepared that. So that also looks good. But a month from now
Could be different.
could be different. Yep.
Okay.
Are there any questions from the public? Go ahead, please. State your name for the record, please. Thank you.
Dave Johnson. What was the total cost on this project? I don't remember. Was it 1.2?
Well, the city's share is $695,000 when we throw in all the issuance costs and so forth. But the total project, I'm gonna have to defer to staff on that. Wasn't it like $1.5 million?
Yep. No, yeah,
Wasn't quite that high.
it hasn't totally been set, our portion has been set.
Yep.
We can't exceed 636,000.
For the outlay
Now,
portion.
the bond costs add to that, that's how you get to that 695.
Right. But your share can't change. That's been agreed to.
So who's paying for that? The rest of that?
The DNR.
The DNR, them grants or whatever it was. Or
I think it was a bond that
bond, okay.
the state issued a couple of years ago for levy improvement.
Right, and it's not a situation where we have to front it and wait for reimbursement like we did with some of these other yahoos.
Right.
This is one
They've
they
got
have
the
to
money.
fund.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
Anybody else?
So, why are you showing on the total sources of funds, $1.8 million?
Oh, that is because you're looking at the budget. If you go to the last page of the entire document, you get our mock bond cash flow. Oh, there it is, 4.3 was the net effective projected rate right there. We're throwing in, $400 and some thousand of interest payments over the life of that deal, that 20-year deal. So you got the 600 and some thousand bond issue, you got the 400 and some thousand interest to be paid on those bonds over the life of the deal, and it adds up to that budget. Does that answer the question? Because you were looking at,
I was looking back here at the 1.8, and
right,
that's considering the 695,000 that the DNR pays?
No,
no,
this is the city portion. This is the proceeds of bond, those abatements, which are
And tax
paper,
levies.
and then the levies. Tie it out. So, you know, what will we spend at the end of the whole project, right?
yeah, and there's a little double counting here, because you see that we have the capital costs, and then we show the bond principal. Well, the bond principal basically pays for the capital cost. So we could probably, another way to show this budget would be to eliminate the 695 on both the revenues and expenditures, and it's more like a 1.2 double outlay.
Okay.
But we just show it this way to clarify that it's a $695,000 bond.
Anybody else?
Move to close the public hearing?
Second up.
Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Hansi, and this was an informational meeting tonight. We won't be voting on this, right?
Well, there's a resolution, right?
That's right.
There's a resolution.
Oh, that's true, resolution.
2012-003.
Thank you. Any other comment? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for putting up with me. Is there anything else for me tonight, or?
I don't think we, once this next resolution's passed, I think we're good to go.
Just get us a low interest rate.
Well, you know, it's funny, when the market's low, I can't control the markets, but when I bring in results, people say, oh, thanks for the interest rate. I'm like, the market's what it is.
Well, private parties can buy it, right? So you could
put
cash
it
in
bid.
some of your money and
Did you
buy
say
this
something?
yourself.
You say something?
That's right.
I think we're good to go. Thank you, sir.
Have a good evening.
8A, consideration of adopting resolution 2012-003, authorizing a tax abatement on property within the city of Rushford for the purpose of financing improvements and repairs to the city's levy system. See attached resolution. Any comment?
It's been pretty well explained. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Colvinson, to adopt resolution 2012-003. Any more comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? And the motion passes. Move on to 8B, consideration of receiving the recommendation of the Rushford Fire Department for the 2012 Fire Department Officers Relief Association Board meetings and events and trainings and seminars planned for 2012. Both the outgoing and incoming chief will be in attendance. See attached.
Mayor?
Welcome, gentlemen.
Yes, we were just here with the recommendation by the nominating committee for new officers for the fire department. The chief officer, Paul Corcoran, first assistant, Dale Brand, second assistant, Chad Rasmussen, training officer, Dennis Overland, maintenance officer, Brent Johnson, Kirk Courier, and secretary finance officer, Jeffrey O'Donnell. And that is the recommendation of the nominating committee. Any questions?
Any questions?
No. Move to approve these people as stated?
I'll second it. Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Holland. Are you gonna